Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Jessica Louie, your coach to an intentional and joyful life and certified KonMari consultant. I'm really excited to come in today to talk more about the KonMari Method and finances. So this is a common question from readers and listeners, and I'm really happy to answer it today. If you've been enjoying listening and watching to this channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe below and left any comments you have in the box below. Of course, I have linked up some more resources and descriptions in the description box below as well. So let's get started with finances. So we definitely want to be very intentional with our finances. So once you've gone through the KonMari method throughout your home, you can apply it to other areas of your life, including your finances and your money. So you know that the KonMari method is very popular from the Japanese culture. So I want to share another popular belief in the Japanese culture called Kakeibo. So I know I'm probably saying that wrong, Kakeibo, but basically this is a Japanese way of writing down their financial ledger. So you can see some books and things linked below, but basically you can create this on your own because I really think it's important to write down your financial situation so that you can view it week to week or day to day and achieve your goals. You can also use some online programs or an Excel file, but I think it's really beneficial to first write it down and then you can transfer it to an electronic version later, maybe once a month or once a week if you need to, because the reflection of writing it down is really beneficial, and it also has been shown in studies, to be a little bit more committed to your memory a little bit longer, and is a great way to journal at the end of the day or the end of the week. So with Kakeibo, there's 4 different principles of how you write down your finances, and basically you want to track these to really see how much money do I have right now, how much am I spending, how much do I want to have, and how can I change my habits. So in the Japanese culture, they're writing down their expenses into 4 different categories and reviewing them each day and then each week, and asking those questions at the end of the month so that they can prepare for the next month. So I write these 4 categories down into a little chart in my planner so that I'll fill that out at the end of each day during my evening routine, and all that information is linked below as well. So let's go through the 4 categories. The first one is survival. So of course that means things like where we're living in our accommodations, our groceries, our health care, things that we need to survive day to day. The next category is optional. So basically if we're going out to eat or going out for drinks with friends, those are usually optional activities. So those would be included in some of the optional things that we do day to day. Next we have cultural. So this is a great example of you using experiences in your life instead of material things. So you're enjoying culture either through music, concerts, theater, or reading and books. So cultural things that enhance your life. And finally, there's extra things that may come up. So these could be car repairs or maintenance or birthdays or gifts throughout the year, hopefully for experiences. You'll find a link below on gifting in the KonMari method. But those are the 4 categories, and it's really emphasized in the Japanese culture that when children are growing up and they're saving their money, that they're putting this money into a bank account, so they're avoiding both splurging or impulse decision making on spending, and the children are taught that you're saving up money for quality items instead of quantity of items. And I really want to emphasize the quality aspect of that statement because really if we are buying a physical item, it's really nice that if we buy quality, it will last longer. And I really like the movement buy me once. So I have a link for that below in terms of if you're buying a product, if it has a lifetime guarantee and is going to last the next 30, 50 or more years, it's really helping the environment to just buy it once instead of buying a lower quality item, usually for less money, but replacing it multiple times is affecting both our environment and our resources, and it is not going to help you over the long term. So those are my thoughts on writing it down in the Kakeibo method. Next, we want to think about where do we spend our money and how can we address that. So remember back to the KonMari Method, you set your vision for the ideal lifestyle. So we want to go back to that in terms of now that you've gone through your home, you really have to think about how your home is serving you. So that's my first place to look in terms of, do you need all the space that is in your home? Are you able to downsize after this process or change your living situation based on your vision for your ideal lifestyle? So really looking at our spaces, because one, they're really important to us and we've gone through our spaces now, and two, because it's probably one of the biggest financial contributors to our spending day to day and year to year, because where we live is usually the most expensive portion of our survival needs. So if we really can look at that and determine where we want to spend our money and what would fit our ideal lifestyle, then we can address that first and then address the things that are a little bit less expensive. So the next one is looking at our transportation. So thinking about, now that we applied the method, are we living closer to work? Are we living closer to family and friends? Do we need a car? Do we take public transit? Do we walk or take a bike? Thinking about all those things, because again, transportation can be the second most expensive part of our finances month to month. And if you own a car that you own just for the material value or for the name, going through the process may help you decide that you really don't need that and you'd rather have less stuff and more life and more experiences. So for example, I own a 18-year-old car and I don't have plans to replace it anytime soon. It was a very high quality car when it was first purchased, and when it was passed down to me, I was very lucky because it's a high quality car that's going to last over 200,000 miles, and I don't need to show off to my friends or my family by keeping up with the Joneses by buying a high quality or a new car that has a certain name to it, because my car works fine and I'd rather also walk or get back to the environment by driving a little bit less anyway. So I've been able to cut down my own expenses by not thinking about having a car payment anytime soon. So definitely looking at that is a great option. And finally, loans. So I know there's a lot of different types of loans out there. So working as a critical care pharmacist and in the healthcare profession, a lot of people around me and my colleagues talk about healthcare student loans, either going to pharmacy school or medical school and so on, and those can be very expensive. There's also other loans such as your car loan or your home loan or credit card debt and things, and really looking at how are you going to pay down that loan and what is your process and your plan. Because my partner and I have set up a plan to pay off his medical debts and medical school education within a certain time frame, and we stick to that month to month and year to year so that we hit that end goal. So it's really important, if it's not your debt or if it's your partner's debt, that you have an open conversation about that and think about how do you want to live your life this year and how do you want to live your life in 5 years from now, so that you're on the same page, and you're on the same page especially with finances, because it is a significant portion of our day-to-day living, and it definitely is something that should be addressed. So those are some things to consider with the KonMari Method and your finances. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like and subscribe below. Leave any comments about your own financial journey if you'd like to share it with listeners and readers. And I hope your day sparks joy, my friends. Thanks for watching.